This term, we're also going to look at poetry in English. We're going to be reading a range of poems. We're going to be reciting some poems. That means we're going to read and learn these poems, some off by heart, and commit them to memory and perform them, whether it's just performing it at home or to your teacher, or perhaps even in a small group to your friends at school. We're going to be doing this unit over the next 5 weeks. Okay, so what do you know about poems or poetry? Do you have some favorite poems? Now, when I was younger, I really loved Christmas poems. One of my favorites is called It Was the Night Before Christmas. That poem, would you believe it, was written around the 18th century. It's a very old poem, but you might have heard of it. It starts off like this. 'Twas the night before Christmas, when all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. And it continues on. Have you heard of that poem before? Well, I want you to pause for a second soon in this video, and you're going to scroll down just a little bit under the video and fill out the survey and tell us what your favorite poem or rhyme is. Okay? So I want you to pause the video now and do that and come back. Okay, I hope you've had a chance to share your favorite poem or rhyme with us in the Google form below. Now, we're going to have a look at poetry. In Year 3 and Year 2, you might have been introduced to what poems have. And one of the things that we know about poems is that they are written differently to stories or information texts. What is poetry? Well, in poetry, the sound and meaning of words are combined to show or express feelings, thoughts, and ideas. Okay, is that different from a story or a narrative? Let's keep reading. The poet, so the person who creates or writes the poem, chooses words carefully. Poetry is usually written in lines. So that's a little bit different to narratives. Usually with stories or narratives, we plan them in terms of events and paragraphs. And so poetry is a little bit different in that each word in each line is chosen very, very specifically and carefully. What else do you think about when you think about poems? Here are the elements of poetry. Writers use many elements to create their poems. These elements include rhythm, sound, imagery, and form. Now, rhythm has to do with how you read the poem. When you read or say the poem, it should follow a particular pattern. It might sound different to when you're reading a newspaper or even the first chapter of a story. Sound is not just the voice of the poet or the voice of the reader, but sound has to do with the words in the poem. What sound they might make by just changing the first letter, or the sound that we might find in rhyming words at the end of a line, or it might relate to sound words like onomatopoeias. Next one is imagery. Imagery has the word image in it, which means picture. Imagery is basically anything, any words or any language in the poem that helps paint a picture in our minds. And form has to do with what type of poem we are writing or reading. For example, you might have heard of acrostic poems, where the first letter of the letter of a word is the first word that starts each line, or you might have heard of haikus or cinquains, okay, which has a specific rule about how we are to write the poems or the words in the poem. So form has to do with what that poem looks like, what type of poem it is. We're going to be exploring these a little bit further as we learn about poems this term, okay? Today we're going to focus on rhythm. Rhythm is the flow of the beat in a poem. Rhythm gives poetry or poems a musical feel. Rhythm can be fast or slow depending on the mood and the subject of the poem. And you can measure rhythm in meter by counting the beats in each line. This reminds us of music, when we can read the notes to help us keep the beat or the rhythm. We can do this in a poem as well, but we don't need notes or crotchets or minims or any of these to read a poem. We can simply look at the poem, at what it's called, what the topic or subject is, and the number of words in a line to figure out how we should read a poem, whether we need to read it fast, slow, both, okay, depending on what the subject is. So let's have a practice with the poem coming up on the next page. This poem is called The Pickety Fence, written by David McCord. Listen to how I read this poem and think about the rhythm as I'm reading it. Is it fast? Is it slow? What picture is it painting in your mind as I read it in my particular rhythm? Here we go. The pickety fence, give it a lick, it's the pickety fence. Give it a lick, it's a clickety fence. Give it a lick, it's a lickety fence. Give it a lick, give it a lick. Give it a lick with a rickety stick. Pickety, 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 pick. Was that a fast rhythm or slow rhythm? The rhythm in this poem is actually quite fast, to match the speed of the stick striking the fence. Okay? So depending on what the poem is about, in this case, it is about a stick hitting the fence. The rhythm is quite fast because it has to match what is happening in the poem. Now, it would sound very different if I read it in a very slow rhythm. Have a listen now and see how the slow rhythm is probably not the best way to read this poem. The pickety fence, give it a lick, it's the pickety fence. Give it a lick, it's a clickety fence. Give it a lick, it's a lickety fence. Okay, I'm going to pause there. Can you see how it doesn't have quite the same effect? So rhythm is actually really important when we read a poem. Okay, so depending on what type of poem it is, we might read it fast, we might read it slow, we might speed up. Rhythm is very important. Here's another example of rhythm where we have to read it a bit slower. The poem is called Where Are You Now? When the night begins to fall and the sky begins to glow, you look up and see the tall city of lights begin to grow. In rows and little golden squares, the lights come out, first here, then there. Behind the window panes as though 1,000,000,000,000 bees had built their golden hives and honeycombs above you in the air. This was written by Mary Britton Miller. The rhythm in this poem is slow. It's to match the night gently falling and the lights slowly glowing coming on. So here are some examples of rhythm in poems. What you're going to be doing now is using the poem example given to you below. You are going to practice reading your poem using an appropriate rhythm. It may be slow, it may be quick. Some parts of it may be quicker and some parts of it may be slower, depending on what it's about, what is happening in the poem, and the length of the lines. So you're going to have a go now. So please stop this video and go on to the next activity.